Hello and thank you for checking out my video. This is the first video in a series of videos I'll be doing to go over game design concepts and functions in detail. Now this video in particular will be going over a game composition theory I developed that will be utilized as the framework for all the design concepts laid out in the rest of this series. Basically, the Game Developer's Diamond is a system of design theory I developed for video games that is the equivalent of something like musical composition or cinematography. With the Game Developer's Diamond, I'm trying to create a reliable system of game design that we as game developers and game designers can use as a rooted framework to help us do three of the following things. 1, create our own original and unique video games. 2, we can also develop a deeper and creative understanding in general of video games. And number 3, dissect and analyze other games and how they are made so that we can synthesize them into our own framework as game developers and designers. So how is the Game Developer's Diamond a useful and accurate system for designing video games? Well, to understand that, I'll be going over what a good system of composition needs to be. Firstly, it needs to be useful in the development process of a creative work, for without usefulness, it is completely without merit. Secondly, a good system of composition theory needs to be open-ended enough to allow for creative flexibility and the development of standards. For example, how music composition theory equally allows for the creation of R&B music, jazz, classical, and rock. Thirdly, a good system of composition theory needs to be fixed, as in true or objectively correct. This is because the truth is the strongest foundation in which our creativity can naturally grow out of. Lastly, a good system of composition theory needs to be teachable, as in it has levels of understanding that can make one go from amateur creator to masterful creator through gaining knowledge of said theory. It is my belief that the Game Developer's Diamond readily embraces all 4 of these requirements, and I will showcase this throughout the rest of this series. Another major aspect for a good system of composition theory to have is a agreed upon terminology and vocabulary that accurately describes things that take place within our artistic medium. For example, in cinematography, we have terms like bird's eye view, foreground, wide shot, and in music theory, we have terms like eighth notes, chords, and key signatures. And there is already an agreed upon vocabulary between game developers and game designers, and my composition theory takes this into account. But for it to be a good composition theory, I have to be focused on the rudiments and fundamental aspects of our artistic medium in order to be effective. And this is something my Game Developer Diamond theory actually does. The Game Developer's Diamonds hones in on video game mechanics and features as the core, most fundamental aspect of video games. This is much in the same way that music notes are to music theory and camera shots are to cinematography. In my studies, I have found that the core and fundamental aspects of all video game features can be mapped into 4 basic categories: control, concept, computation, and community. It is my belief that within these 4 categories, we can accurately describe what video game mechanics and features are. Much in the same way like a stanza is used as a structure form for music notes, so do these 4 categories act as a structure form for the core fundamental aspects of a video game in my theory. And to explain this, I will be going over what each of these categories mean. In our category of control, we describe physical and physical interaction-based mechanics and attributes, and reflexive-based gameplay. Now, the traditional game genres associated with this category that use a lot of elements or features from this category are platformers, shooters, and racers. In our category of computation, we describe artificially intelligent, strategic, and statistical-based mechanics and attributes, as well as reflective challenge-based gameplay. Some traditional game genres that are usually associated or have a lot of features from this category are role-playing games, tactics games, as well as tycoon games. In our category of concept, we have artistic, conceptual, and storytelling-based mechanics and attributes, as well as creative, challenge-based gameplay. Some traditional game genres that use a lot of features or elements from this category are visual novels, simulation, and adventure games. And lastly, in our category of community, we describe cooperative, societal, and competitive-based gameplay mechanics and attributes, as well as communicative and user-to-user challenge-based gameplay. Now, the traditional game genres that usually use a lot of features or elements from this category are MMORPGs, fighting games, as well as collectible trading card games. So with this explanation, I want to showcase how the game developer's diamond can be used in a general sense. And to do this, I'll be going through and showcasing how it works with a game like Pong, one of the very first video games ever created. Pong has the diamond category element of control, which I showcase here by my physical interaction of the controller, which moves the Pong bar up and down. Pong has a diamond category element of computation, which is showcased by the simple addition taking place behind the scenes, and the strategy I must employ to beat the oscillating computer Pong bar competitor. Pong also has a diamond category element of concept, which is showcased by the graphical representation of both the bar and the ball. These are artistic choices for the gamer to understand what is going on the screen. Lastly, Pong has a diamond category element of community, when a second player joins me and brings real competition to the game. And so now you see how the game developer's diamond theory can be used to describe the simplest of games like Pong. And even though video games have gotten way more advanced since Pong, it is at their very most rudiment that they all still fit within my game developer's diamond theory. And that's the game developer's diamond. So the very next videos in my series will be going over actual game design concepts, and I will be utilizing the game developer's diamond as the framework for describing these concepts. So if you really like this, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you have a great day.